Let's get cracking!
Welcome everybody here to our broadcast for the D2CL. I am your host, Toby1. Welcome to everyone who's also inside of Dota TV and here on our Daily Motion live stream. Hope you've been enjoying the coverage so far as we go into game number 2 of EG going up against virtus.pro, where it is going to be EG, led by their Mon Capitan drafter, PPD. He'll be already drafting in the like and somehow managed to slipping through the ban stages in the early stages. Then again, it's actually not really that uncommon anymore, considering Lycan is one of those opens up the spaces kind of thing heroes when you have other heroes like Tree and Protector, SKs, Miranas, all of these different things available. Yeah. It's always interesting. It's always interesting to see what can slip through the cracks. True Protector, though, does get into the hands of virtus.pro, so there's some extra insurance behind them, as EG, with a Lycan pickup. I was kind of hoping... I was kind of hoping for a different combination. I've been having a small little chat to Zai while I've been waiting for our next game to start, and a little bit of trolling back and forth going back and forth. Shout out to all Romanians, by the way. You make some really cool, awesome stuff. Yeah, but I was just saying, hey, Lycan pickup, man. That should mean like you get like a Dro, a Puck, your Visage coming into play, and just going all out in the town, because it's the full amount of damage you could just rip out of your lanes with that kind of matchup, which I think just makes EG such a powerful team in the early stages, and VP a very early SF pickup to go with that Tree and Protector. They're looking for safety. They're looking for safety in that middle lane, in the hands of the SF. That's all this is really going to be. With the Tree Protector armor, they can easily farm him up. I kind of almost... sorry, I had to answer. Actually, yes, I jinxed it a little bit. Yeah. I don't think we're going to get the combination I was talking about. It would have been a wonderful thing to have. But Mirana and Kunkka are now going to be the two ban-outs here by Jotum. So he's looking for the extra controllers that EG could have walked with. Ancient Apparition being the ban out here by EG, so maybe a little bit concerned about the aggro tri-lane potential from EG. Also, they will probably be banning out the Disruptor here in the Force section. It's one thing which is very well known for VP, and it's one of NS's favorite and probably one of his best heroes out there. The next one in line will probably be the Vengeful Spirit. But fitting a VS into this lineup right now, it would still work with the Aura combo between SF as well as VS, but it would really make for some easy food. It makes them for some easy food. Yeah. Let's see how EG goes now, as they will take up their fourth ban. I want to see if I'm right in this one. It's one of those things where you look at the game number 1, you go, hey, that was actually a really the Disruptor had some moments where things really didn't work, but Disruptor is the playmaker of the current scene. You think you're actually able to push the limits, and then you get glimpsed back. You're like, oh, now push the limits too far. I better back off. I better just slow things down a little bit, not get too close, and that's when the enemy is able to get a lot more space and walk over the top of you. But they actually ban out the Rubik in this game. Huh. With the Darkseer pickup now coming up from Evil Geniuses, we may be searching for a different kind of combo than what I was thinking. I was just looking for the amp up of damage between Lycan and Dro Ranger with someone like a Visage. You can still do it with the two last heroes, but with the Darkseer now in, you probably want to find something that's more focused on, say, team fight, really. That's all this really should be now. With the Darkseer, they had a Centaur. Okay, now I get even more concerned. In this case, with the SD pickup already, they can just go into something like Mason's Weaver if they want to. Actually, there's enough control, maybe they would have enough. Yeah, Viper might be a safer pickup. I'm just trying to work out who's playing what for EG, because Lycan is normally played up by Arteezy. And he'll take that in towards the mid lane as often as he wants to, or he can go up into the safe lane. With a Viper pickup, they're very flexible with their lanes, with the way they want to try and run this. With the Darkseer towards the off lane, that's also okay. EG could attempt to go for an aggro tri-lane so they can push the Lycan to the mid, leave the Darkseer up on top to go up against the Centaur. Favorable lane for the Darkseer in my mind, because you got obviously your Iron Shell burn damage. So Centaur, he'll start to whittle away a lot of his life points, and he'll need consumables quickly. And Razor pick up here from virtus.pro. If this isn't an aggro try, I'm not quite sure what else they would use. Razor's one of these heroes you pick up if you feel like you're going up against like OD or some carry which you know you can keep in close. So you can steal off a lot of damage. In saying that, I think the last time I watched VP play, it was actually casting a game with Cap. And they ended up maxing up, it was Illidan that did it, and he maxed up points up in Plasma Field and turned it into a push. Oh, yeah! Jackie! Jackie! Jackie has arrived for EG. Now, this I like even better. EG are not forced to any lanes. Liquid Fire will zone out the Centaur perfectly. They don't need anything else. Witch Doctor was the final ban here from VP. Yeah, I think they're thinking the same thing I was right there. The VP, they're a team that actually tries to go for pushing power with the Razor. And the later points, then they look for the damage deal.
10 seconds
And Disruptor will be the final selection here. Now, this is probably the reason why EG didn't ban it. It's because they were looking at it going, they shouldn't be picking up Disruptor if they're going to go for a push strat. But, not a push strat. Which means it should be a gank strat. And that'll hold them in position. When you get that, kinetic field up and running, to work with the perfect kinetic field, with Ag's ulti, nowhere to run away, BKB won't protect you unless you get it off beforehand. Or if Disruptor has Ag and Scepter, then it will not protect you. They're going to run aggro. They're running aggro. It's static link first level. Yeah. I know Cap's currently busy, but I might send him a message just later on saying, hey man, they didn't go Plasma Field. First point static link. It is the best ability on a Razor. And so people are out there going like, oh, if you had your Twitch chat, you'd be like, oh, facepalm, Toby! It's like, no, look back at the replays. You'd understand what the hell goes on with these guys. They just try different and unusual things. But the standard build is Razor, static link. You take that damage with both Leech Seed as well as Glimpse. A lot of potential for kills. And VP, they do a lot of this stuff. They do a lot of this, like move into little crevices and have an observable around the corner so you can see it. Very similar to what the Argentinians did yesterday. It's a small early game advantage you're trying to force by doing such a thing. Using the Fog of War to catch out an enemy hero when they're least expecting it. Now, how we looked for our lane. So Arteezy's going to be off lane. Off lane Lycan going up against a Centaur. Then middle lane will be Mason. He'll be the Viper going one-on-one with God. And then the aggro tri-lane will be going up against a Darkseer. That's the other thing which I'm not, like... I'm talking about all the great things about Disruptor, but if he doesn't get his combo off, Illidan doesn't get the steal. Lycan will have ulti, and everyone else gets surged. Disruption from SD doesn't help, because it works against you.
Double damage.
Well, movement's coming down to bottom lane, so it's already a DD room being taken out there by Smile. So at least he's got one upside down here in the bottom lane. He's also got himself a hoof stomp, but he's been watched very closely with wards, and now the de-warding there. You notice to the positioning of the ward from Zai? He's making sure he can still also check this little spot deeper inside the camp and up into this corner here. That's why that sentry goes down. Normally my drawing is actually a hell of a lot better. It's just Draskel's mouse and DPI is really insane, and I also don't want to screw around with this setup too much. Top lane movement, Universe. Yeah, he loves being over-aggressive like this, but with Leech Seed, he knows he actually can't be. They have to Liquid Fire to keep Jottam away, and then he just searches himself to freedom. Glimpse was available at NS. He got himself out of range. He couldn't do it instantly. But then again, there's no follow-up now. They've already used Leech Seed, which means there's no mana for a second. Illidan, he does have static link, but he's got to get himself in range for this. Surge, PPD, being dragged in. Universe, at this point, okay, now he's going to surge PPD away. So the static link can stop. 42 points, 49 points. Ah, Illidan needs a little bit more. Plasma Field couldn't get the job done. NS can't dive underneath the tower because their creep wave is also dying. And NS is also having some serious problems down here. With an Iron Shell and Surge down, Darkseer could attempt to go for First Blood, but instead he just puts the double Iron Shell up on top. While on bottom lane, the dual lane to try and keep Smile off. There's a lot of damage being taken by Zai as this SD. Coming in range of the tower every now and then, but it's also going to be a little bit of the reflect from the return. Middle lane, 6-0, 7-0 up against a 2-for-1. Nether Toxin being skilled higher than anything else right now. And rightly so, because he's just looking to deny up every single thing he can to the SF. SF attempting to farm with Razors. But still only with 3 souls in the kitty. And Mason will try and make sure he stays that way. Attacks him once, tries to be a little bit more aggressive, so he drags the attention there of God. God was able to find 1 last or 2 last hits just then, so that's not a bad thing. When a creep wave underneath his own tower, and Mason becomes the aggressor, that's when you know you've got a little bit more problems. As oh yeah, there's a little bit of problems here too. Razor's DC'd from the game. Quick pause. At the same time, Mason came in rather close then. He knows the long range raise, the max range raise is on cooldown for the moment. So there is a window which is a little bit bigger now just because of the range of SF state DPS is a lot smaller. I'm not quite sure why he's in this deep. He didn't need to be in this deep. Denying off the creep wave, keeping it high, it's... It kind of feels like all he's searching for is just a little bit more DPS into that SF. With 4 levels up on him now. With a 2-2-0-0 build. I think he really needs to do this. Is someone coming on the courier though? No, that's I believe the Die courier is heading backwards. It's heading backwards. So it's already delivered the items towards middle lane. So it's only 2 minutes 30 in. I was like, man, is Viper going to run a bottle in this game or not? In this game, he doesn't really need to. Viper can go into the more, like, tankier style build. I don't know if you try and go in for something like Likelihood of Defiance in this game. Or he should be building the mech, sorry. He should be building the mech. And that's enough regen that he can deal with the aggro coming out from virtus.pro. But he can't just go full into life points, because then you get the problem if Razor starts stealing all the DPS, your life points mean nothing. So EG basically need to have earlier fight potential, which means Mech and Aghanim Scepter. Like, it's still fight potential, but it's also stayability coming in for the Viper, will be the better choices for him to go. And then you could look towards the Jakiro. Like, this guy's already going to try and keep the top zoned out. He doesn't have to build into Mech for this lineup. In fact, I'd say Arcane Boots will be the better choice for PPD, because these guys are still going to be strapped from mana a hell of a lot. Especially like heroes like Lycan SD, who has to spam out a lot of poison. I am not wanting to smell that same thing. I would say Viper as well, but Viper can just pick up something like a Ring of Aquila or Drums, and normally he's okay, but having the burst mana back is obviously going to be very, very nice. Yeah, but I'd say Jakiro will probably be looking at Arcane Boots, maybe an Urn in this lineup. Because not many other heroes here would want to get it. And that gives him a lot of base strength. I think he's the highest strength gaining support hero in the game. A powerful hero. Definitely a powerful hero. And if he can, the Aghanim's upgrade. I know a lot of people out there were just like, look at the range of it! Look at the size of it! I've never seen one so big! Like, that's kind of what you kind of have the expression of with Jakiro's new macro pyre. The range is freaking insane. Scepter range and scepter damage. So you go from 180 to 225 with a 7-second duration. So you see how much damage here? 7 times the 225, and then the range of 1800. It doubles the length. It doubles the length of a macro pyre. No matter what happens, then you basically have to walk through the fire and the flames. It's so difficult to cast that in a position where it wouldn't just like leach out to the rest of it. Hey, it would be nice if like liquid fire just spilled out into like into the rivers and like crossed it up on the side. Yeah. So that's a good point. Should liquid fire technically work in a river, or would it work like magma, where it just gets this huge steam cloud, so you get steamed in the river? Oh, could you imagine coding that? Oh, Valve would have an absolute field day with that. They'll have a great field day with that. Alright, good to see the boys are ready to go again. Well, okay, almost ready. If someone just hits the damn button to go. How's our TZ looking? I know we're only 2 minutes and 30 seconds in, but normally, like, to get a good start and like it isn't really a hard thing to do. He has been a little bit more tightened up because of the levels with SD down here. He's been leeching a little bit more. It looks like Zai's also taken, oh my god, one of the last hits. He might think about giving him another one so Zai can pick up these boots to go up against the Centaur. Because Zai kind of runs the Centaur out properly right now. The movement speed's still 350 compared to the 295 of the SD. So Centaur will always be able to outrun Zai He won't be able to outrun Arteezy. In fact, Arteezy has an extra 5 movement speed on him. Of course, that kind of means nothing if you're looking for I can run him down when I move only 5 movement speed faster. It's not that big a deal unless you're running for a long distance marathon. At which point, yeah, stamina is something which you have to take into consideration. Stamina for speed. While Illidan, he's actually only he's 1 CS behind that of Arteezy. It's not a bad thing. The only lanes which are really out of control is the middle lane with SF. I say really, for 2 minutes in when you're 4 CS behind, it's not really that bad because he can catch up. But when you look at the off-laners, it really hurts. You've got Centaur with 3 and you've got Darkseer with 3. Darkseer also can flash farm. Centaur to a point can with double edge. He can flash farm with double edge. It's not something which I think he wants to be doing most of the time because it just means you've got to push someone else out. Alright, so finally, someone is just let's go. Let's go! GG, go! Oh, wonderful. Not GG, we're not ending this game just yet. We've got more matches coming up as well later on tonight. MYL will be going up against EG. So if you want to stay tuned for more action, I know there's a lot of action coming on with the TI4 qualifiers also being played out right now. You can check those games over at the European Hub for all the details. You can head to joindota.com for all of that. And we have all of our live streams for Join Dota fired up. Every single one is currently working tonight. And we'll be always working for the first 2 days of every regional qualifier. Because 4 matches run at the same time. And of course you've got our awesome EU Hub social with kittens. Because the kittens are awesome. NS, gank time, maybe first blood. Oh, it's a level 1 glimpse. For people out there that watch me cast time and time again, there is one phrase that comes out when Disruptor is being played. You cannot glimpse gank until level 3. Zai's in trouble. He's got a Disruptor over on Jotum. Lycan's trying to give some extra damage out right now, but Zai pops the healing salve. Never got Disruption off. Doesn't have enough mana for it too. He's just poison stacking. He's got 4 poison stacks over on Jotum. Now with the double edge, the poison will trigger out. But it's hardly any damage. But the SD gives away the first blood. Looks like he was coming in a little bit deeper. Maybe to help set up on the middle lane. So Basin can get a better position to gank up into God. And do something like that. If you had a Disruption and catch on top of that, then God would be dead right now. But it was just nicely called out. Now Illidan as well. PPD cuts a path through the tree line. Illidan, well, he wasn't expecting to have to go that quick path underneath the tier 1 tower. And now Viper's on his way up. He's going to search for Illidan. Static Link's on cooldown, which means Viper's got a big opening, and this is a bigger kill. He's trying to body block him and successfully does so. With the Ice Ball down too, Illidan takes a fall. That is not what they want to have happen. Razor comes in and gives away all that hard-earned farm.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
It was 16 for 2, and he just ended up giving over to the mid solo. I know the first blood still went out in the bottom lane. Centaur was able to get that one, so it might help on his way to getting a straight-up Blink Dagger. At the same time, I don't know if... Actually, Smile's not taking enough harassment on this bottom lane anymore from Arteezy, because Arteezy's also abandoned it. So let us leave Zai down here. He doesn't have to go into Tranquil Boots. So we can go straight for the Blink. Going again on top. It's not really the greatest time in the world for Illidan, even though he is taking a lot of the damage away. The attack slow, there's unfortunately for the liquid fire, there's no move slow. But at least he knows that when he does attack, it's going to be not as effective. And that's when the ice path comes in, the dual breath. And go one put up in the dual breath too, and that's where you get your move slow of 30% at all levels, from level 1. So just keeping that there is fine. Put everything else into liquid fire. Let's EG when they're ready to push out the towers be a lot more powerful too. Man, Zai's going to soak up so much damage down, so much levels down here. And Arteezy, because at least he has wolves up at level 3, he is capable of jungling this. He doesn't have a Vladimir's offering yet. I think he was thinking about attempting to stack that, but realized he was out of time for it, and then runs himself away.
Illusion.
But there's no pressure really coming out from EG just yet. There's counter initiation when you go in a little bit too far. That's okay. They looked for a moment with the SD because they kind of felt like they were just leaving VP to their own devices. But that's what EG want for now. They know they're sitting on dire side with a Lycan. which means they want to look towards Roshan. They want to look to these high advantages during the fights. Hello, NS level 4. Just may have enough damage now to kill off this Viper. They put down the Observer Ward from PPD. Ring of Aquila's also in. Sentry Ward's down as well. They want to make sure there's no invis surprises coming their way, and they see the other side. Vladimir's is up for Arteezy. They're going to need new Sentry Wards around here. Observers and Sentries up on this cliff. In that they could drop in a little bit deeper. You can put the Sentry Ward actually in the middle of the river, in case there's any kind of invis maneuver in for a fight. I say invis because if you're going to have a smoke there, it's... The nature's guise is the only thing, but you have to stay next to the trees for that to work. Bottom lane ganks being prepped up, and Centaur ulti will allow them to come in range. So Zai, already been slowed up once, goes for a quick poison level. There's not a lot more he can do right now. He knows he's going to die. So accepts fate again. So the 2 kills which VP have managed to pick up have both been onto Zai. Having a very rough game as an SD, but also us try and pull out as much as he can from this off lane and make life as difficult as he can for the Centaur. And he actually succeeded in one way. He forced the Centaur to buy into Tranquil Boots, but Centaur's got so much money now with the 2 kills, he's walking around with only 100 gold short of a Blink Dagger. So a very quick Blink Dagger coming in for us up. I say quick for him. He's been having some troubles getting to it in previous times. But this now means that VP can be more aggressive. They should be looking to bring him to the top lane, but already EG have put down aggressive Observer Wards. So if someone does TP to that top tower, EG will know about it. Universe is surging himself away. No static link used by Razor, who's going to build into the mech for his team. Shottam already also using Leech Seed. Over on 1 creep, but everyone's coming in. PPD, Liquid Fire on 1. Ice Path, it holds Jottam as well as Illidan up. Now Illidan, he's trying to get some more space here. He's taking a lot of damage away from PPD, but they've already lost Jottam. Universe in the neighborhood, and Illidan, he's held 70 points of damage, but that DPS coming out from Arteezy with his wolves diving under the tower. Makes it look almost too easy, while SD will die on the bottom lane. Looks like Blink Dagger being used for that, but Razor and Tree both going down, which means now the tier 1 tower is also forfeited his life. And that burn damage of 20. When you look at it, it's... Okay, so we get 80 living armor. It's a block of 80. I was thinking, does Liquid Fire actually start to tick through it? Burn damage at maximum is 30. It will still tick through it. I believe that's the way the interaction would work. Put living armor on towers, put liquid fire on towers. Liquid fire should burn off the armor. But the question is it magical? Oh. Shout out to those guys that are watching that Dream League episode. Zai's back to farming again. They're looking for the Purge. That's all they're looking for on him, which means level 6 and space to do such a thing. While Smoke in middle lane, Centaur ulti, they're glimpsing one back, and it's going to be Mason. Ice Path actually keeps SF out for a little bit, but they can't control him the entire time. The Ice Path stun duration just is not long enough. It's only a one level Ice Path anyway. So a good quick movement. It does cost him 2 ultimates. I say 2. Where is that? Yeah, 2. Disruptor as well as the Centaur ulti, and a Smoke as well. So they did commit a decent amount to that. But they killed off Mason, which makes it more than worth it for virtus.pro. They're still going to have a little bit more problems later on. And S, glimpse off cooldown. Come on back! The wall is up. He's got Purge available, but with Plaza Field razoring around, Universe, he can't surge 1 second. Viper might decide to turn and fight this one. Static Link's been used, but only 42 points were taken away, and they surge over towards NS. Easier one to kill. Mid-tower will be brought down by the SF in the meantime, but Mason already with a kill. Double Edge still available right now. Universe wants to protect him. They back it back in for the double Iron Shell burn! Mason will pick up a double kill from this. They just took down 2 cores. It looked like EG were grouping up for the worst thing possible. I thought like double Edge Hoof Stomp, they'd lose all their life points straight away. But not to be the case. While all that was going on too, Mason was Arteezy was just inside Roshan, farming up the entire time, taking Roshan. I believe that double Iron Shell worked as well as it did. Never underestimate the Darkseer's need for vengeance. And when you had a Viper in there too, 4 points up in the corrosive skid, We've been applying every single time too. VP where we're trying to attack him. Illidan now going to go on PPD. PPD's got no, actually should, Liquid Fire and turn into a, actually should turn to Ice Path, not Liquid Fire. Disruption on bottom lane, try to protect Universe. Glimpse will actually drag back 2 heroes right now, so Universe goes inside the tree line. Wait, no. That tower's actually going to go down right now. And no, they can't get both of them away. No. What the hell? Okay. Now Double Edge was cast here while Darkseer was up here. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he's tossing a Tomahawk. I know the axe is bloody big, but still.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
That range is kind of harsh. But the support got out. SD managed to actually juke it around because they split themselves up. They weren't quite sure if they go for the Darkseer or not. And Darkseer was the primary target. It wasn't the SD. SD just made it a little bit more difficult. PPD trying to stare down this mid. And then counter ward time. So that Observer up on the high ground too. And Arteezy will make sure that's gone, but then looks in towards Jotun. Ice Path, a little bit off target. It was only in case someone came on top of Arteezy, but now with a purge on NS. Arteezy, 2 swings, couldn't get the second one in. The tree oldie will keep him away. Not to mention that wall, but Mason's attacks will reach. Arteezy copying a little bit too much damage. Plasma Field does come through, but doesn't attack onto Arteezy. And now Disruption. Catcher over on the side. Catcher actually goes down and hits on Jotum, while Illidan was the man caught inside that Ice Path. And now he will also go down. It's the El Clasico support duo. The SD plus the Jakiro is the Disruption into an instant stun from the Ice Path. And then Universe, the follow-up combination, going with both Macro Pyre as well as the vac end with a lot of heroes. But if you notice right now with Jakiro, this is one of those things too, which I remember, actually, who was the first one to do this? Oh, Smile. Oh, Smile. He just stood there looking for a blink in. Now it's a Centaur ulti out. Jordan back in towards the mix. The Iron Shell damage. There's your back into the wall with 3. University's 9 Shell on top himself, but the SF winds the ulti up with the Death ulti. They'll at least bring down 2, but the Aegis Immortal was what was triggered. Smile jumps up, but Arteezy, Wolves, they just get an easy triple kill onto him. With the tower, he should probably get the Wolves on top of that. He can't get out of here though. The wall is locking him in. Ulti up in 1 second time. Wait, what happened to the Glimpse? Drags him in and out again? That kind of went a little bit crazy. Illidan! Oh! How many poison stacks was that? Razor lost so many line points so quickly. They bring him down at the last moment, and EG 13-8. They push their gold advantage even further. Just over 7 for both now. Where's that courier headed to? That one should be for the Centaur. So again, we see a Hood. Coming in now for a Centaur. Well, up to top lane, Universe. Oh, that back wall from him was beautiful. The shame for him was his Iron Shell was on cooldown. After he did that, he never got it up again when he was fighting in this little area here. He was sitting down here and he had 2 heroes which were pretty damn low next to him. The Iron Shell would have really been able to tick out a lot of their life points, and they possibly could have had a little bit more of a one-sided fight than that. The SF ulti was what really saved it for VP. Gold was able to be just in a good position and got it off. But EG, they knew what they were getting into. The SF ulti went, and they just thought, you know what? Fine. We'll deal with it. Go onto the tower. We have Mech. We have SD Disruption. And even then, he was just throwing poison from range. So he was out of range of the SF. He was just sitting at the back line throwing poison. If someone needed trouble and they were halfway out, he would disrupt them. Or they'd disrupt for initiation. Top lane movements coming. PPD. Wolves as well. This is a bit of a trap, though, with Smile sitting back. But the Wolves come down, and they're going to attack him. So Smile can't blink him. And Illidan, Centaur ulti has to be used. They try and turn around with a Disruptor ulti as well. It's going to field back into a wall again. Illidan, there's one wolf in his tail, but it's the SC again finding himself another kill. Hawp stomped down by Smile with the tree ulti. They just try and buy as much space as possible. PPD, Ice Path, it connects on the SF, and this could be a big one to lose right now. The dual breath slowing him down, he triggers. The Death ulti goes. Universe just has enough life points to survive it too. And now the 2 cores die for virtus.pro. And EG will force the matter into the tier 2 tower on the top. Smile and so difficult with a Blink Dagger hero when you're going up against a Lycan. These invis wolves are on top of you. If he was able to blink in right then, he possibly could have got a 3-man hoof stomp, but EG knew he couldn't. So they just went for it. And now with the SF dead, they want to go high ground. They couldn't breach into the mid lane before. Static Link just went down to Disruption. Catcher, not starting it, it's just the Ice Path. In fact, back in. There's no Macropire, so on cooldown for the moment. But the damage coming out towards NS will be more than enough for Mason to get himself a kill. He's in way too deep over his head. Diving down next to the melee ranks up against heroes like Centaur and SF, a tree. They bring the tower down a little bit. Zai, there's a purge. Centaur ulti gonna go. Ice Path, baited once. If PPD had the Macropire up when they went in then, because we still haven't seen that combo. We keep seeing the SD Disruption. Zai, run up, run north, Zai, break the link. There's your back in with the Ice Path, with the Macropire. They can't hold him there for long enough, but Arteezy's already having some fun with the SF on the sidelines. Coming in for a double kill. And with 3 more calls on the sidelines, VP say, we can't defend this, we call the GG. And rightly so. We'll be getting ourselves a 30-minute break, peoples, before we come in for our next game for EG. So they'll also have a break themselves. And we'll have we'll have MYM going up against EG. Our last 2-game series for the D2CL today. There is, of course, more D2CL action coming up in the future. You'll have to keep your eyes peeled for Capitalist to stream those guys out as I'm working my ass off, or trying to, over at the TA4 European Hub. So make sure, in the break, head yourself over there. The European Hub, the social channel, is up and running. And we've got ourselves some cool people coming in. I believe Sing Sing flies in tomorrow. There was some word of him coming in today. We had Pycat last night, and a star-studded lineup coming your way. And we even have hosts that can co-cast. That can cast. Jess already proved that. James still has to. Meanwhile, break time, and I'll see you guys back here in about 30 minutes.
Let's get cracking!